Hey everyone, how's it going? So today we're going to be talking about Avatar The Last Airbender. So I watched this when I was a kid when it was airing on Nickelodeon, but I never kept up with it. So when they put it on Netflix, I was like, oh hey, I can finish that show. Now real quick, I just want to quickly establish or talk about something. So ever since it came out on Nickelodeon and people were like, oh, they can watch it again or whatever, I quickly realized that people were, in my eyes at least, overhyping the show. Now, real quick, I can already tell I probably triggered some people by saying that, but if you look at the literal definition of overhyped, it basically just essentially means you're blowing it out of proportion, which I think it is. I saw people posting on Facebook this long-winded books about how it's the best cartoon ever created and all this other stuff, and I think a big part of it is nostalgia goggles. Now that being said, I did like this show. I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't think it was bad by any means, and I have to clarify that because lately when I say something is overhyped, people will just act like I'm saying it's bad when they're two different things entirely. Because it's one thing to say something is good, and then it's another thing to go to the extent of some of these people are going to, and just going on about how just everybody's got personal preference, whatever, but at a certain point you just gotta chill. I understand you like it, it's cool, but that doesn't mean everybody's gonna feel the exact same way about it. So that being said, we're gonna do a spoiler and non-spoiler. Obviously the non-spoiler first. I really enjoyed this show. I thought it was really good. I don't think it aged as well as some of the other cartoons from the mid 2000s to early 90s. I don't think it aged as well as some of them did, just because the first season is real loose, childish kind of humor, and then it kind of gets more, I don't want to say complex, but more adult as the show goes on. So I like that. Thought it was a good kind of weird mix, I guess. So that was pretty good. I really enjoyed. I thought that all the cast did a really good job. All the voice actors were really good. And the way the story progresses is pretty good, I think. Especially, this isn't spoiler. This isn't the series summary or whatever. But after 100 years, the dude wakes up and just kind of the natural progression of a 12-year-old boy who's supposed to be the savior of the planet or whatever. I think the progression that they go through to take him on his various quests and show him the different aspects of things, the different ways of life, and just all the things that have changed in the last 100 years that he wasn't aware of, obviously, because he was frozen or whatever. So I thought it was really good. Just to reiterate, I don't think it aged as well as a lot of the other cartoons did. But it's still enjoyable. I think a lot of the jokes are kind of just a little more, it's obviously a cartoon for children, but at the same time, it's one of those cartoons that's trying to appeal to all audiences. So I think and it's mostly in the first season where I think a lot of the jokes are kind of I don't want to say dated, but just not hitting it for everyone, if that makes sense. And it's almost the show overall is filled with a lot of unnecessary filler. And if you don't know what I mean by that, filler is typically referred to typically with anime, because anime usually they're making the show while the manga is coming out. So at certain points they'll have to take a break in between story arcs to just give you a solid, it's different for what show you're watching or whatever, but it'll give you a break of episodes that's completely irrelevant to the main story, and just each episode will be some just side story that's just there to be there because they're waiting for the manga to catch up so they can turn it into the anime, obviously. Naruto is a really bad one for that. But so it feels and Avatar is an American-made cartoon, so it's not based on manga or anything like that. And it feels in all three seasons, really, that there's a lot of just unnecessary episodes that just kind of derail from the main story. Maybe they uploaded it to Netflix funny, and some of the episodes are out of order. It almost kind of felt like that with some of the episodes. It's just how out of the way they were from the main story. So there is that. It bugged me a little bit from time to time. But like I said, again, this is going to wrap up the non-spoiler part. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was really good. But I definitely think it's overhyped. I don't think it doesn't deserve like the title of best cartoon ever made. Like, I think that's gone a bit overboard with it. So moving into the spoiler section. So he's the Avatar. He's supposed to be mastering the elements and stuff like that. But I think for the large part of season 1 and season 2, he doesn't use any other elements. He's still sticking to airbending, which I understand. He's an airbender, whatever. But I mean, you would think if you're trying to master all the elements, you would try to use the other ones more practically. And I think that's something maybe they realized while making the show, because like I said, about halfway through season 2-ish, give or take, is when he really starts going out of his way to try using air or water bending and earth bending more, because obviously he doesn't know fire yet. So I think that kind of gets addressed, but it's one of those things that really bugged me about the first season, especially, is like he's traveling with a waterbender, but it seems like the amount of time he's actually trying to put into water bending, it just isn't there. Because I mean, even if Katara is not a master, she's still somebody that knows way more than Aang would. So it's just one of those things that kind of bugged me a little bit. Because again, the premise is him learning the elements so he can take down the Fire Lord. I thought it was cool that the Fire Lord was voiced by Mark Hamill. I thought that was a really cool touch. Mark Hamill is a really, like, people love his voice acting because of the Joker from the Batman animated series, and I think that's well deserved. He really killed it. He did very good as the Joker. Some people will say that's their favorite Joker, period. I don't agree with that, but I mean, to each their own, right? So I thought that was really cool. Zuko's character arc, I think I liked his character arc until season 3, and then they were just kind of like really messy with it and like what they wanted to do with his character. It kind of bugged me. I wasn't a huge fan of that. There's like 1 or 2 episodes with Katara where it's like, why is her character doesn't make any sense right now? Why is this happening? But for the majority of it, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed the character arcs. But I really want to talk about Aang, because Aang really bothered me in the last, I think it was like 3 episodes of the show or whatever. So obviously this whole show, he's trying to learn the elements because he is the Avatar, and he's like trying to get out there and go fight the Fire Lord and just, take it to him. The last 3 episodes, he decides, oh wait, I don't have what it takes to kill a person. Well, and at this point, this is almost a year after he's been out of the ice. So for an entire year, he was training to defeat the Fire Lord, and then 3, like I think in the story, it's like 2, maybe 3 days before he's supposed to fight him, he just decides he just doesn't want to kill him. I thought that came out of nowhere. And then their solution is, hey, let's introduce this mystery turtle who has never been mentioned at all in the series, ever. It's like a turtle lion or something like that. I don't know. A turtle rhino, maybe? I don't know. They introduce this turtle, and this turtle takes Aang, and they kind of just waste an entire day to later, like Aang just at the end of the day or whatever, he dives out and he sees that it's a turtle. The turtle picks him up and taps his head and like just magically teaches him how to take away bending, period. Which, and that bothers me a lot too, because it seems like just like a cop out. Like they just wrote something into where they wouldn't have to kill somebody on screen, which, I don't know, if you watch how some of these people get beat down, it's like, I don't know, some of these people are dead. Like, especially with the the earthbenders, like, come on, man, they're getting squished between boulders and stuff. Like, I don't know. I think they went that cop out route because they weren't ready to commit to killing a character on Nickelodeon. I genuinely think that's what it is. I didn't really. I don't know. It just, obviously, it really bugs me a lot. I think it's a really dumb cop out. To just take away his bending, especially once they don't really, I don't know, it's just they kind of do it, and then his character just kind of like exists, and then they do, okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, that turtle and the whole taking away bending thing really bugged me, because before that, the entire time he's on the turtle, he's trying to talk to the previous avatars to see like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with, I don't want to do it, can you teach me or show me something so I don't have to do it? And they're all like, no, you have to kill him. And it's like, okay, cool, well, I don't want to. And then he, obviously goes out and does his thing, and the turtle teaches him the bending or whatever. And I understand people's defenses for that are, oh, it's not his character, he doesn't want to hurt people, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I find that hard, because the entire show, he's fighting and beating down all these people, especially when he whips out the Avatar state. Like, he's ready to just, like, smack cheeks. And then, like, again, it really bothers me because it's like the whole time he was training to, take down the Fire Lord, and then when it comes time to do it, he just decides he can't. So that really bothered me a lot. I think it's probably one of the main issues with the show at large, which should go to tell you, like, I really enjoyed the show. If that's like my main issue is the ending. Then again, especially with TV shows, it is kind of hard to write an ending that'll satisfy people, or at least everybody, because you're not gonna appease everybody. So I mean, it's just kind of like one of those things. It's like not perspective, or I guess it is perspective, but it's like one of those things like I didn't like it, but everyone else may, and obviously I think a lot of people do. I think talking about character arcs, I think everybody else's arcs are fine. I think they're all really good. And I think when they get spotlight issues, it's well deserved and it's well done. Most of them are carried out very well. Especially, I really enjoyed Sokka's thing where he went out and made his sword out of asteroid and was taught how to use a sword by a master swordsman. Like, I thought that was really cool. And then how they later tied him in, I think it's the Order of the Lotus or whatever, with Uncle Iroh and those other couple guys. I thought that was really cool. I thought the whole Order thing, the whole, like, basically Illuminati thing was really cool. Uncle Iroh is probably hands down the best character on the show. I like Zuko the best just because I liked his character arc and just like his journey to be like redeeming himself through himself as opposed to redeeming himself through his father. I thought that was really cool. I just thought that was awesome. So he's my favorite character. But Uncle Iroh is probably like objectively the best character. I don't think there's many people that would argue with that either. I'm kind of taking on longer than I thought I was going to now, so I'm going to try and wrap it up a little bit. Again, the show was very well done. I just think they could have done without the filler. Like, I don't think every season needed to be 20 episodes. I think they could have chopped it down. But, again, it's for TV, it's for kids, all this other stuff. So it's one of those, again, it's one of those things of like dual audience type things. So those filler are probably just for like the laughs and like extra stuff for the kids, but like the main story and everything else. And I guess some of the filler stuff is for adults too. So it's like, again, it's just one of those things. One, it's a TV show, so they have to make it the seasons a certain length, and then two, you're the dual audience kind of thing. So I don't really know where I was going next, but yeah, everybody's characters arcs were good. Mark Hamill was great. I think there's a couple. Oh, something I noticed throughout the series: the voice actor that plays Robin from Teen Titans is recurring in the show. He plays just random characters randomly. He's just sprinkled in there. And I thought it was awesome. I noticed it, and after like the fourth time of noticing it, I was like, no way, this dude, it has to be him. So I had spent like 5-10 minutes scrubbing the dude's IMDb to find his appearances on Avatar. So I thought that was really cool because I have a deep personal emotional attachment to that show. So it's like seeing his voice work and other stuff is always just awesome. I think he's going to wrap it up. Yeah, I addressed everything I wanted to address. Oh, real quick. So in the final fight, Aang doesn't go into the Avatar state until he hits the spot on his back. I thought that was really dumb. The fact that the spot existed at all, and the circle, like how he got shot with the lightning, and that's what triggered him to just lose it. And sealing off his chakras or whatever. I thought that was really dumb. I thought they didn't do anything for the narrative, and I just didn't like it. I thought they could have taken a completely different route with that, and I would have preferred if they would, because that was supposed to seal, and then he just hits his head. One random rock. Not the best writing from my perspective. I thought they could have done something better, but again, that didn't take away from my overall enjoyment of the show. And to clarify for anybody, I like to be nitpicky. I like to judge things based on like everything, and not I kind of messed up how I wanted to say that. I judge things on the individual pieces that make the whole, and then kind of give the whole like a grade. I don't just look at the thing as a whole and say, yeah, I'm like pretty good with this. Like I think it's fun to pick it apart, and by like. I keep reiterating that I liked it because I don't want some people to misconstrue and be like, oh, he just hates this cartoon because he's picking on it for this, and this. Like, no, I enjoyed that. I enjoy finding things to pick out like that, both good and positive. So if I notice something like crazy good, I'll do my best to like notice it and talk about it. But yep, just felt like I really needed to throw that in there real quick. This video is going out later than I initially wanted it to. I've been really busy this week running around doing different stuff and just all kinds of craziness this week. Hopefully next week won't be as bad and I'll be able to put out my regular routine for videos. So they should be releasing on Monday. And then I might take the week after that off, seeing as it's my birthday weekend, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just try to do something special or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. So if you made it through the whole video, thank you so much. And if you want to have a conversation about the show, either hit me down in the comments, or you can reach me through social media or my business email if you want to have business inquiries or whatever. You want to collab or something. I don't know. So thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video, and I really appreciate everybody's support, and thank you so much. We'll see you next time.